big grudge against fiat, and they call it the fiat fraud, because that's what it is. It's a fraud. And we have all these promoters across the world promoting fiat fraud in different flavors. You can have the Japanese flavor, the American flavor, the euro flavor. It's all a fraud. But my story is when I started working in Mexico in 1980, I was a young guy, got out of school, did an MBA, came back to work in Mexico, was making $2,000 a month. Yeah, pretty good at that time. But 6 years later, my salary was down to $20 a month. So that's hyperinflation. And at that time, we thought in Mexico that the way out was through the dollar, So we all tried to save in dollars and make money in dollars. Unfortunately, today, 2022, it looks to me like the guys who are making dollars in 6 years might go from 2000 to 20. So I would put a big warning sign, you are here and going there.
That's a beautiful...
Unless you buy Bitcoin.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have billionaires on crypto. And what do I teach you? Never ever listen to a billionaire that's in the mainstream media because they will not tell you the truth. Now, we know Warren Buffett is a great investor. We know the Hegelian dialectic is being played with Peter Thiel. We know Warren Buffett is definitely invested in fintech and in crypto. Then we have the Mexican billionaire telling the truth about fiat. But guess what, guys? I guarantee he's using fiat right now. We know Bitcoin peer-to-peer transactions would have changed the world if the people were allowed to use it the way it was supposed to be used. But unfortunately, they're not going to let that happen. You can listen to Kevin O'Leary. What is he talking about? He's talking about stable coins. Stable coins are nothing but digital fiat. We know better than this, people. The whole purpose of Bitcoin was peer-to-peer transactions to cut out the central bank, not to include them and then do off-ramps and stable coins. That was not the purpose. That's the reason why they shut down Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin was able to scale, and then they created another protocol, which is Bitcoin Lightning Network. And we know that's going to be set up for the robots, algorithms, and drones, and the sheep will go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Start with the big daddy bill that's coming out of Cynthia Lummis. She is coming here on Friday to give a keynote. This is a very important milestone to have a senator come here and address this important sector with a bipartisan mandate. That signals that regulation is coming, and that is a good thing. That's vector number one. Vector number two, the president himself, in his direct order, his executive order, talked about crypto as something that he wouldn't make illegal. That was the most important message in there. But there was also a concern about climate change, we'll get to in a minute. Then there's BlackRock, the Larry Fink mandate that has discussed this sector as well, also a concern about ESG and climate change. Last night at 6 o'clock, Bill Hagerty dropped a bill. 2 pages. I spoke to the senator last night. A 2-page bill that would make stable coins legal. This is a genius piece of legislature. If it's 2 pages, every senator can read it. And it's very simple. What this says is this. Why is this any different than a money market?
Speaking of crypto, famed billionaire venture capitalist Peter Thiel sounding off on the critics of crypto, or what he calls the enemies list. He told the Bitcoin conference in Miami that Warren Buffett tops his list of people trying to stop the cryptocurrency, and he didn't have so many nice words to say. Here are some of them.
Enemy number one. I think he's sort of. I think the sort of the sociopathic grandpa from Omaha is 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 perhaps the most honest and the most direct in it, and you have to sort of think of it's of course on some level these people aren't always just talking their book. It's sort of they have some sort of institutional bias. It's long, a list of woke companies. It's somehow long this fiat money system, and of course there's always a sense if you're a money manager, you want to pretend that it's complicated to invest, and if all you have to do is buy Bitcoin, that's like ridiculous. All these people are out of business. There was a version of this also with gold. They never liked gold either, because if all you had to do was own gold, that's something everybody can do. But there's sort of an institutional bias, a sort of a center-left political bias.
Thiel also calling out J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon and BlackRock's Larry Fink. The investors argue that people need to push back against the crypto bashers to fight for Bitcoin to 10 times to 100.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. Long COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.